Speaking of needs to get his first win, hit the drop. Carlos Sainz.
Again.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
This is another guy, monster performance this weekend. Has been driving completely lights out. Ruben started talking about it earlier during the show, but he first year in Ferrari, not the easiest team to go to. Up against Charles Leclerc, not a bad driver to go up against, right? That is a talented young driver, as Yancey was just going through. He is up 8.5 points on his teammate in a new team, adjusting to a new culture, adjusting to a new car, a car that Sebastian Vettel had a hard time adjusting to last year. How good is Carlos Sainz? Like, if you were to put everybody on an even, it would be hard to even think about that. But like, if everybody was in the same car, like if it was IndyCar, like I feel like Carlos Sainz would. He's beaten. I tweeted about this earlier, or we tweeted about this earlier. He's beaten Hülkenberg. He's beaten obviously Kvyat. He's been Max's teammate to the point where they did not even get along so much that they couldn't promote him up to the Red Bull team. But he was good enough to show for Toro Rosso at the time to go to Renault and then McLaren and now Ferrari. But unreal. He is currently 6th place in the Drivers' Championship, nipping at the heels of Sergio Perez. He's only 7.5 points down of Sergio Perez in what's supposed to be probably the best car on the field right now, or on the track right now.
And he's ahead of his teammate.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, he's
definitely looking for it. He's definitely putting in the work for it. He moved to Italy.
What Carlos Sainz, his best attribute is that once he's up to speed with everything, he's very consistent.
No pun intended. Racing up to speed.
He's very consistent, and he's a hard worker. He understands the car. He is very hard on himself, even though he gets decent results, which is what you need, especially when you're a Formula One driver. You need to be critical of yourself because you want to get better every race. So even when we saw it last year when he had a chance in Monza, when he had a chance to chase down Pierre Gasly, even though he got second, which was a great result for McLaren at the time, he was still pretty upset because he couldn't win the race. And you've seen it, multiple times here where he gets a decent result, especially in this car, in the Ferrari, because the Ferrari is a car that, is hit or miss depending on the track that they're at. He always feels that he can do better. So he definitely has a drive. What is going to benefit Carlos Sainz in his career is going to be his consistency. It's not going to be his speed. I don't think he is as quick as a Max Verstappen. I don't think he's as quick as a Charles Leclerc. But he is consistent. So you can put him on par maybe with like a Checo or a Bottas, which would be very good second drivers, but and they can be team leaders in a midfield team, but could he be the quickest? I don't think so. But he definitely deserves a drive for a top team, and he's very consistent. And consistency can win you a lot in Formula One.
What makes you think he would not be, if he was in a top team, the quickest, or be able to be the top driver in the standings?
I've never seen a great lap from him, to be honest with you. If you look at the qualifying results, obviously, especially when it comes to being quickest, as far as like being quicker on the track, I don't see the speed. He's great. He's better at race day than he has it, but he's great. He's better at race day than he is in qualifying. And he's strong in the races. So he could definitely come out better. Obviously, you score the points on race day, so you can come out better in points. But as far as being like quicker one lap pace, there's definitely people that are better than him. But
not by much.
It's not by much, but this is Formula One, and
by much.
Even if it's 1/10 or even if it's 1/100th of a second, You're still faster because it's Formula One. That's what you're. That's 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 just the field that you're in.
But that's where he is, though.
Yeah. But I mean,
When the timing.
if you're trying to tell me over a 1 lap pace, if you're gonna take a Leclerc or Sainz, I'm taking Leclerc. If you're telling me a 1 lap pace, I'm taking Verstappen over Sainz. I'm taking Verstappen. I'll even take George Russell over Carlos Sainz 1 lap pace. And obviously, we see how important qualifying is in Formula One because the higher, especially it's not. This is not IndyCar where you can overtake anybody. Formula One historically has been very hard to overtake. So you have to be a good qualifier in order for you to get up there and win races. The best drivers in Formula One historically have been amazing qualifiers.
Yeah.
Schumacher and Senna.
And him.
And Hamilton. So I mean,
But don't trash.
I'm not trying to trash him. I'm just being realistic.
No, give him some credit too.
But he's a great driver, and he's a consistent driver. And honestly, I think for Ferrari, which you guys know I'm a big Ferrari fan, they have a great driver lineup. And actually, I didn't know how it was going to work out, but the dynamic is working well, especially when you're trying to push a team forward. And Carlos Sainz has been a guy who has been to every team, and every time he's gone on a team, they have gotten better. Which was Toro Rosso before AlphaTauri, Renault, and McLaren. They've all gotten better as he's been there, and same thing is going for Ferrari.
I think this first year for Ferrari, he'll get better in that car as well. I think he has the pace. He's just off by a tiny bit on Max, which is one of the fastest guys now. When he was with Toro Rosso, he was not. He was lapping. He would constantly be just. I think that's the reason why he got out of the Red Bull program, because he would not be able to go march to the top kind of stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So they were never going to promote him there. So he had to go pretty much find resources somewhere else, because he would not.
He went his own way, but he handled that so great. That's the other thing.
Course.
He's a professional. He handled that so great. He handled his exit from the Red Bull program great, which he was able to finagle a loan from Red Bull to Renault. From there, Red Bull didn't have a choice but to drop him. Went to McLaren after that, and now he's a Ferrari driver, man. Everybody
betting on himself.
There's nobody that would say no to be a Ferrari driver. No one.
Me.
Hater.
Lewis Hamilton.